Welcome back, everybody. It's Mob Vlog. It's May 25th. It's Rednesday, and you're in for a great show today. Matter of fact, you got to stick around till the end of this thing, because in the end of the show today, we got a special guest coming on. He's going to be phoning in, but he's going to be talking a little bit about the Marylin Monroe murder. He was friends with Peter Lawford, and claims to be. You got to hear the story. We're going to have him on. He's 87 years old. So who knows how much longer we get to ask him questions. So I'm gonna introduce him at the end of the show. But welcome back, guys. It's Mob Vlog. Wemette, how are you today?
Doing good.
Excellent. And today we're here to talk about this Jimmy Cozzo. Red's lighting up a cigarette. He's getting all ready for this. He's like, yeah, fire one up.
His real name is Vincent James Cozzo. We called him Jimmy Boy.
Yeah, Jimmy Boy.
He was like the right hand of Joey Lombardo.
Okay.
And they built a compound. After they stopped meeting in American Bonding, they built a compound by Jimmy Cozzo's house. I suspect, I don't know for sure, that Joey financed it. There was a lot of money in it. But Jimmy Cozzo was really strong with the unions, especially the Teamsters. And I spent a lot of time at that place. When I talk about going to the spot, it's to meet other people or because I was asked to come there. It was a hangout for me.
Okay. So it was and he had a pool out back too. Right, I remember he said something about having
they used to have where the pool is. There used to be a tavern. It was a ethnic tavern, Latin, okay. And the building went up and came down, and that was Bushelhead, or what's his name? I'm trying to think of the guy's name right now.
Switek.
Yeah, Mikey Switek did the job, and after that, the guy sold out. He got his insurance money. And they put a swimming pool and a big wall all the way around this place. And it was wonderful in there. It really was. There was a full bar, big long tables where he had dinners for like 60 people. Yeah. We had a lot of fun there. I had a lot of fun there. And everybody else they seemed to have fun.
So we're going to talk a little bit more about it. And, Anthony DiMartini, I hope that you're watching and that you have time to tune in. Thanks for the cool little intro that we had today on the show. Anthony keeps putting stuff together. I mean, this guy's great. You got to go check out his channel, Street Stories.
Anthony's got a heart of gold.
Yeah, he's the nicest guy, and his videos are really informative. Unlike this crap that we do over here, he puts time and work into this. He does. So thank you very much, Anthony. And quick little hello to everyone: Catherine Guerrero, Keith Osborne, Ricky Delta, Sean Pender, ex-cop used to be a cop. You think? I think. Know. Yeah, ex-cop. Come on, he used to be a police officer. It's like Sean Pender. He was a cop too, I think.
Well, we got Jim D'Antifici too. That he was.
Yeah. Right? Jeff Hunter, Jim Yeager, good to see you. Scott H, Bobby Bag of Donuts, good to have you. Miss Can't Be Wrong's here again. William Kirchmayer, Don Berlin, William Davidson, Outfit Boss, Jim Magnifici's here. See? John Wallace, Don Ciccio, Di Parzalo,
Larry Laffer,
Salutamo Tutti. You think that's right? I don't think it's right. So, oh, by the way, Don Ciccio Di Porzalo is he's my Italian tutor. If you guys haven't been on the channel, don't know about him. So sometimes I try and, yeah, Larry, the over under, I'm the butcher. What can I say? That's what's going to happen with the names. So Ryan Brown, good to see you. Joe Clark, Michael Wiggins, Dave, Meliska. Yeah, Cody Steller, you're new. What's going on, Cody? How are you? Throwing up the bro sign. Scott H. just said hi to Scott. Van Pasterman, haven't seen you in a while. It's good, all of you. James Channon, was the mob involved in snuff films, Red?
No.
Joey Petrilla, yeah. I can't get the show. Oh, I don't know why. You're here. You know, Scott H. What do you mean you can't get the show? You're here. Oh,
you're in the show, Scott.
I really don't even know who Jimmy Cozzo is. See? So we're going to tell you who Jimmy Cozzo was. I'm going to find out too. I really don't know either. All I know is that he had a place called The Spot. But Anthony DiMartini made a little video about The Spot, and we're going to show that to you in a second because Anthony's cool like that. Luminous Grin, Modesto Torres, all of you. Cindy Workman, she's our biggest fan. Cindy right there. Hit the like button, everybody. Hit the button. Hola, super dudes.
There's Anthony. Anthony's here.
Anthony is in here. Good. Excellent. So Luminous Grin, everybody, it's great to see you. RV Doc, James Clinton. That's a new name. I don't remember this moniker at all. The little sad clown face looking like, what was his name? Gacy.
Yes.
He had blue on the top and everything too. But
you have a lot of people here that I've never seen before.
Jimmy Cozzo was our neighbor. Hey guys, if you're new, be sure to prescribe. That's what we call it here, prescribing. So we're going to talk a little bit about Jimmy Cozzo, but you guys want to see a spot? We're going to show you what his spot. Actually, Anthony's going to show you what his spot looked like. It was at Race and Racine. One day, Red and I were on live, and we were in Google Earth, and we were going around Chicago, kind of going a little virtual tour.
And I kept saying Grand and Ogden.
Yeah, but you know what? It's cool. This is why we do this, because we want to get stuff. We want to get the facts right. You know, we don't want to just go giving you guys stuff that's William Kirchmeyer, he reminds me of Red Skelton's clown role. Doesn't it? Pogo. Thank you, TC. It's Pogo the Clown. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, no, he looks more like Red Skelton. I agree with you guys. Oh, man. I'm a Shriner. Don't ever say that I'm like Gary. Or Gacy. He meant Gacy. So I'm a Shriner. What the hell's a Shriner, Red?
It's Mason. When they get to the 32nd degree,
yeah,
they become a Shriner.
Oh, do they wear the funny hats with the
yes,
with
the tassel on the side,
a little tassel on it?
Yeah,
and it's around a little kind of funky looking hat. Hey, do you wear that hat, James, when you got the clown makeup on too? Because you know that'd be a good clown character, right? If you mix the two. All right, I'm gonna get shot.
Here's a guy I haven't seen before. Maybe you know him.
Smeller 7. I've never saw Smeller on here. Dustin McGill. It's a fez. Thanks. That's the name of the hat. It's called a fez.
Corn pop.
Yeah, it's a fez. Thanks, guys. Is Corn Pop back? Oh my God. They call him Corn Pop. Hey, Corn Pop.
Welcome everybody. I'm glad to be here. Adam,
your grandfather was a Shriner? Voigt? Her grandfather.
Really?
Voigt. Was he related to John Voigt? I like that John Voigt.
Yeah, I do too.
No, I wear it at Shriners Hospitals for Children. Oh,
yeah, that's what they do.
That's awesome, man. You know what? Donating time and doing that for that's cool. We've gone around and done that in town here too at the Sunrise Hospital.
Most people don't understand the Shriners have their own hospital and it's free for children.
Really?
It's free. I have a friend that was a Shriner. He's passed, but he used to tell me that people would walk up to him in the restaurant and they'd say, "Thank you. you gave me a leg, or you did something to me. Had surgery, and it didn't cost us a dime.
Wow.
Because it's for poor people. And that was years ago, many, many years ago, 20 years ago.
They used to have a Shriners Circus at Medina Temple.
Medina Temple in Chicago.
Dirty Diety said that he hears Corn Pop is one bad dude. It's a bad dude at Corn Pop. Okay, so let's check out Cozzo's place. Anthony DiMartini, take us and give us a little tour. Everybody, if you haven't checked out Anthony's channel, Street Stories, be sure to go over there and check it out. Okay?
Yes.
It's a hoot. It really is. All right, so let's clear the screen of the comments, and here we go, Anthony. Take us away.
For years, he was an informant spilling the secrets of the Chicago mob to the FBI.
Believe me, I promise you, I'll break every bone in your body before I go to jail.
This is Cozzo's place, the Spot. And I know there was some confusion on Adam's video a long time ago between Racine and Race. And they're actually both here, Racine and Race, and it's the actual corner. And it goes all the way to Grand. As Mr. Wemette alluded to, it goes all the way to Grand. And I guess that, I'm not sure what that part would have been, but so part of the building is at 530 Racine. And then this is a separate building, I assume. No, it's connected somehow. Pretty fancy, I have to tell you. But yes, it is Racine and Race. Race wasn't short for Racine. It's actually the street. And if you came along this way, you got security up the yin yang still. And that's the pool that Mr. Wemette and everyone is talking about. That's a 1208 Race, R-A-C-E, not Racine. So there it is, the Spot.
Now here's something interesting. I had spoken with Mr. Wemette a day after I'd gone, and I told him I had visited the Spot, Jimmy Cozzo's place. And he told me that there was a telephone pole in an alley that he had walled off and then was charging the utility company a fee to access that pole, and that pole was there. I didn't know it at the time when I was speaking to him, but looking over the video, there it is. So Mr. Wemette's memory is as sharp as ever.
Now, for the first time, he's going on camera to talk about the dangers of his life undercover and the story of Red Wemette.
I was told by some people at the time that he put out $1 million contract on my head.
Anthony, thank you so much. You keep creating this awesome content. Guys, go check out his channel. Be sure to hit the likes and subscribes, and hit the like
called
over here too.
Street Stories.
Yeah, hit the like button. Come on. That's that's how it's done. Hey, Anthony, when you're filming there and you're going down the street and that blonde girl came jogging past. I mean, like when I'm out filming, and people ain't going, and I feel like I'm a creeper or something, you know what I mean? And I'm like, they think I'm a creeper because I'm walking down the street videoing, they walk, you know what I mean? Anyway, and he said yin yang. Yeah, coming out of the yin yang. I think that's a Chicago colloquialism, the yin yang.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Because I know the yin and the yang is a Tao spiritual, what goes around comes around. You know what that yin yang they had on surfboards back in the 80s? Anyway. Not that I was surfing. I'm just saying, I think we were on surfboards for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, so Jimmy Cozzo, let's go back to him. How, and I haven't looked at any comments for a second. I should probably look for the comments. I'm a harmless old man. Yeah, that's what they all say. Give me a little girl. You want some candy? Harmless old man.
Anthony's a great guy.
What went on at the spot? Cole Hammer's asking.
Why don't I start by saying a little bit about Jimmy? Jimmy was a thief, and he used to work with Joey Lombardo as a thief way back when. So they were like really close. They were rap partners for years, maybe 3 decades before I even got in the picture. And they used to meet at American Bonding. Everybody used to meet at American Bonding. This place was built and expanded and expanded and expanded. Had a full bar, had a swimming pool, had a big stage. Jimmy had Gladys Knight and the Pips there to play for one of his children's birthdays. It was really, really a place. As you look at it, the film you just saw, it was probably a full block. I mean, it was almost 2 blocks because the alley, he cut off the alley and made it go all the way to the end. That used to be a used car lot. They sold chop shop cars there where they changed the VIN numbers and everything else. But time has changed, and that wall hasn't changed, though. That wall that's around it has not changed. But JL used to meet there. I used to meet there. Vince Solano used to meet there. The people from the Rush Street Crew used to go over there. It was a business meeting place, but it was also a casual place where people could actually. I used to have videotapes on the inside. I used to videotape the guys that were in there and they'd say, hey, I'm on TV, because that was Betamax. It was when the first ones came out.
Right.
And they would get a kick out of it. They'd enjoy it.
Huh. So
when Joey Lombardo went away for Dependorf, he went to prison. Okay. That's when they held a meeting, and Joey gave orders to everybody in there what to do when he was gone. And everybody agreed. And Jimmy thought Jimmy wasn't made. And he thought that he would get to be the boss and taking care of Joey's affairs. But Louis Eberly was next in command, who lived out in Stone Park. And Jimmy did not like Louis at all. He used to call me up and say, yeah, that guy out west, he's driving me nuts. You know, he won't let me do what I want to do. So after Louis died, Jimmy did become the boss in 1991, I believe. Uh-huh. And he became the boss of the Grand Avenue Crew.
That was 91. How long? Was he the boss up until was he the boss up until No-Nos? Was he the follower?
No, he wasn't street boss. He was the boss of the Grand Avenue Crew. The Grand Avenue Crew.
Gotcha.
The one that's the succession was like this. First it was Milwaukee Phil. Then it was Joey Lombardo. Then it was Louis Eberly. The next man in line was, guess who? Jimmy Cozzo. But Jimmy Cozzo, you're laughing about something. In the comments.
Look at this butte they put in now. Sherbert sent you in here to rob me now. I bet you at the card table. I get. You guys were saying something earlier too. Where was it earlier? I was looking at the comments. I can't. You guys cracking me up. You sit in the comments. I thought you were taking. No, that's right. I thought you were laying. No, I'm taking. I'm taking this week. I thought you were laying. No, I'm taking. There it is. No, I'm taking. Sells with dips. Funny
yes,
guy.
I did meet Jelly Belly. Jelly Belly was Jimmy Cozzo's father, and I did meet him.
You met his father?
Cozzo's father? He used to hang out there all the time.
They call him Jelly Belly? Let me guess. They have a big belly?
Yeah, okay. Oh yeah.
Jelly Belly.
But he owned Rosie's Sandwich Shop, where Richard Kane was murdered.
Okay. Did Richard Kane go to the spot?
No.
Okay.
No. He was just back from Mexico. He was trying to get his way in. He was over. Marshall Cafano set him up at Jelly Belly, Jimmy Cozzo's father's place, the sandwich shop. Mm-hmm. We used to call it Rosie's Grill. He calls it. A lot of people call it sandwich shop. But at any rate, Marshall Cafano took the call that when Kane called him, he accepted the call on a payphone in there and he talked to him. So he thought he was safe. He was meeting Marshall Cafano. Marshall Cafano leaves and he shows up, and the rest is history. The only thing I can tell you for absolutely sure is when Joey was talking about it, Joey Lombardo, he was in there, and he said the police asked him, what did he see? And he said, I didn't see anything but those 2 barrels, shotgun barrels that were pointed at me. And that's what he pulled the trigger on Kane.
Okay.
But it's a very dynamic place. Across the street from that was what they call Wagon Master, and it had the Teamsters logo on there. He was very heavy with the Teamsters. He was very unionized. I mean, if it was dock workers, if it was the produce workers, whatever it was, Jimmy had his fingers in it.
James Channon, homie, don't play that. Homie the Clown. You don't remember Homie the Clown, do you, Red?
No.
No, homie, don't play that. All right. Yeah, you'd have to. That's more my era. But Smeller, wasn't there a conflict with the gas company and the spot overriding the meter?
Yes.
Smeller Seven's asking this.
Jimmy had a laundromat where you saw that film where the gal was running. There was big windows there, and that used to be a laundromat. And so Jimmy bypassed the meter, and he was running gas, people's gas, for his laundromat for the dryers. But he also started heating the pool with it. So they were going through a lot of gas, and it took them several years before they pinned down his location. And the gas company came out, and they had guys with shotguns out there watching the guys dig. Actually watching the guys dig. They dug down and they discontinued his pipeline that even went over to his buildings. And they turned around and they shut it off. And
You've got to be shitting me.
Afterwards, the guy kind of went like this, and he was, giving him the bird. And they pulled away. And they were waiting for the streets and sanitation to come and put the blacktop on top of it, right? And I'm standing there watching it, and all of a sudden, after they leave, out comes a backhoe. They dig it all back up. They put it all together. They put it back just like it was. And
are you serious?
The next day they came at night. This was in the evening time. The next day, the streets and sanitation came and paved it over. That was it.
Wow.
We all laughed. We thought it was funny. No,
Wow.
it really took a lot of balls. I mean, it was crazy. And Jimmy says, that's the way to get things done.
You know how much it costs in gas, though, to heat a pool? And in Chicago?
That was a big pool. That was
in Chicago to keep the freaking thing hot? Out here in Vegas, first place I lived, they had a 80,000 gallon swimming pool. It was like a pool you'd see at a resort, okay? Huge pool in the backyard. This place was gigantic, and she told me she had a heater for the pool. And one year they had one of her kids had a birthday party, whatever. And it was winter time. Winters are mild out here. They eat it. She said it cost a fortune to run that heater. So I could see why he would tap off the gas line on the city and get some free gas, right?
Well,
why not?
He did that originally for the 12 big dryers, the big boy dryers.
Yeah.
Because they were costing too much in his laundromat.
Jeez.
But then when he added on to the swimming pool, the gas heat in the pool,
yeah.
That heater was huge. It was like maybe 6 feet by 6 feet and about maybe,
my God,
I'd say 34 inches high.
Wow.
And it just used to, the water was like maybe 74, 75 degrees in there. He had a thermostat on it.
You know what that would cost, though? I mean,
I swam in that pool a lot.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But that's what it is, man. If you can get something for free, get it for free, right? I mean, that
was Jimmy's way.
Get it and say, that's that. Why not? Why pay, right? Hey, they found some more information about that body out at Lake Mead in the barrel. The bullet was in the head. Yeah, I read the bullet was in the head. So, got shot in the head.
22 caliber.
I don't know if it said the caliber, but I did hear it went into the head. So, in case anybody was wondering about that, that's where it is.
Somebody on somebody's channel, they said there were only 2 ever Chicago things that were done that way in the barrel, and they were talking about Johnny Roselli, and they were talking about this one in Las Vegas, but they failed to mention Jimmy Marcello's father, Janitors in a Drum. Gary Jenkins did a show on it.
Really?
Yeah, there were 2 guys putting a drum there, so there were a lot more. But there's so many people that are misinformed. I mean, they don't know the whole history.
Did I ever tell you I worked for the circus?
Yes.
Yeah. So, well, kind of the circus. It was a fun show, and it was called Beecher's Madhouse it was at the MGM Grand, and I was the host, MC, and magician, and I got to work with this really cool guy. This guy right here. He's called the Great Throwdini, and he's a knife thrower, and he throws knives at beautiful women.
Doesn't he throw 2 at a time? He takes them in his hand. He throws 2 at one time.
He's been on every damn whatever America's Got Talent and everything else he's been on, and he holds 44 Guinness Book of World Records. 44 different titles this guy holds. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. He came on the Vegas Mob Tour the other day. The Great Throwdini came on the Vegas Mob Tour. He came all the way out from New York and did the Vegas Mob Tour. No,
this is the kind of guy you don't want to say, never bring a knife to a gunfight.
There you go. There you go. This guy can bring knives to gunfights. All right. That's how good he is. Unbelievable. He came on the tour. Check it out.
Hey guys, I'm the Great Throwdini, and I'm here in town because I received Gold Merlin from the International Magicians Society as a lifetime achievement as a knife thrower. I really came here, believe it or not, to see a mob tour like Adam Flowers. This guy is great. Please do the tour. Nobody knows more about this than that guy right there.
Hey,
Good.
And you guys take it from this guy. All right, if he's saying it's good, it's good. David, the Great Throwdini, Adamovich, is Guinness Book of World Record holder. How many times?
I got 44 world records.
44 world records. That's him, the Great Throwdini. Thanks for taking the tour. What was your favorite part?
Listening to you, you know everything. The guy knows everything.
Thanks, guys. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button. Okay, so there you have it. Do you hear that too? How many records? 44. 44 Guinness Book of World Records.
He's a celebrity, guy. He's a celebrity.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, you know what he did? He didn't pick up the knives. He didn't pick up knives until he retired from being a professor. He's a professor, university professor, and one night went to a nightclub after he's done teaching. He's, retired. I don't know, maybe he was 60 at the time, 55, who knows, but went to a nightclub and saw some guy throwing knives at a girl. He said, you know what? I'd like to try that. So he talked to the knife thrower afterwards, right? Oh, yeah, this is pretty easy. How do you discover that you have a talent at that age in life and go, this is what I'm going to do now? I'm going to throw knives. This guy's got beautiful women around him all the time. He's got a beautiful girlfriend. It's just, and he gets to travel the world throwing knives. Throwing knives, as they say in Chicago, throwing knives. Anyway, David, if you're watching, thanks for doing the tour, and it was nice to see you while you were in town, and congratulations on your Merlin Award. That's like an Oscar. It's made by the Oscars, same company that makes the Oscars, and it's gold plated, that one that he had. I held it. The thing weighed like 100 pounds. It was heavy. No, seriously, it weighed about 8 or 9 pounds. It was really heavy, solid. So, anyway, back to Cozzo. So, guys, I just need to read a couple of comments here. Yeah, don't care how talented he is. I wouldn't want him throwing knives at me. LOL. Listen, Miss can't be wrong. No, listen. Let me tell you something. And it's a video on YouTube. You can watch it. Okay, about David and the girls that he throws the knives at get interviewed, and you know what they say? Specifically, I'm not going to say exactly, but they say it turns them on. Okay. Yeah. So Miss can't be wrong. Don't knock it till you try it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, walk with danger. Yeah. Walk with danger.
Exactly. He puts the girl on the board. He straps her to the board, okay, and then he spins her, okay? So she's spinning round and round on the thing. And while she's spinning round and round, he throws the knives boom, 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 at her while she's spinning, okay? I mean, this is serious.
I believe he's the man that I watched who had a blindfold on when he was throwing the knives.
Yes, he does that. And he even covers the target with paper, okay? So he can't see where the girl is when he's throwing the knives. So, let me tell you, that's...
Outfit Boss has a question here.
Outfit Boss, put it up.
Jimmy?
What's the question? Did Jimmy Cozzo have a lot of pull in the outfit or just the union in Chicago? Let's talk about it.
He had a lot of pull in Chicago. He was well respected by everybody. Everybody. It wasn't just the unions. He had other things going. He got involved in politics. He tried to buy Bernie Epton's ticket to put Jane Byrne on as a Republican during the party. He started the Republican Party, he didn't start it. He made it grow. As a matter of fact, he asked me to be a precinct captain in my neighborhood for the Republicans so he could get around. But Epton wouldn't take the $1 million in cash that he laid out on the table so he could see it to give her the ticket, and he lost to Harold Washington.
Laid $1 million out.
$1 million in cash. It was laid out on the table.
Wouldn't take it. My God.
I saw that.
You would think that you'd take that kind of money, but hey, you know what? If you got morals and everything, you got some values.
And he lost, though. He lost.
So Miss can't be wrong. Miss can't be wrong. Imagine there's the target, and you get strapped to it by the Great Throwdini, and then he spins you round and round and throws the knives at you.
I don't want to imagine it. I've seen it. And
you might like it. You don't know.
My heart was going like this. I was saying, what happens? It's a live show. What happens is something he misses, Joe.
She has her things, she says, that get her, that get me, such as fast cars and men in uniform. She likes men in uniform. So all of you coppers that are watching. Yeah. Cozzo meet with Pat Marcy?
Many times. Yeah? Oh, yeah.
That was the first ward alderman, right?
Right.
Marcy? Okay.
Yes. He was very powerful with the city workers' jobs. If you needed a job with the city, he just called somebody up and you got a job with the city. If you wanted to work in the sewers, you wanted to work in streets and sanitation, if you wanted to be a bricklayer, or I knew several of them that were bricklayers, a pipe fitter, whatever. He controlled the unions. So he would call up and tell them what he wanted, and they did it.
Hey, Brad, I got to interrupt just a second. Because Misty just threw a comment up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's usually me strapping the guys down. LOL.
A little BDSM, huh?
If you're new to the channel, all right, and you haven't been on here before, you could guess which one of these testimonials is Misty.
You guys ought to take this tour. It was fantastic. I recommend it 100%.
I love the Frank videos. Those were great.
Personal stories.
Yeah,
I mean,
personal
you
stories.
Very close with Frank Culotta, and you get the vibes. You got to do this.
Oh hell, the best part of my trip out here.
It's everything about casino that you wanted to see, and it's cool to see it all.
This was like fucking authentic. It was amazing. Awesome.
Oh, unbelievable. Adam is just first class, great information, great tour, fascinating. 10 out of 10.
Take the tour, you'll have a great time. You're going to learn a lot, and you're going to have a fun time too.
Absolutely great. It was awesome. I would definitely recommend it. It was good to learn about the history.
It was awesome, man. I enjoyed it.
Fantastic. I loved it.
What'd you think, Mo?
It was great.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Great, very informative. You come to Vegas, make sure you do this tour.
It was great.
It was awesome.
It really
Highly
was.
recommend.
Amazing. I'd do it.
Misty's the one in the black with the hat. See? Luminous Grin didn't know that you could kiss me on the tour. See? Luminous Grin was the one that said you got to do it. It's the best thing. You get to see everything about the movie and you get to see it all, you know. So
Misty is a very interesting personality. We talked on the phone.
Yeah.
And Misty was in the Marine Corps. And just a very interesting person.
Hell's Angels, part of the Hell's Angels.
A bike rider? A bike rider?
Yeah. Okay, so Robert Finley has been a silent watcher for the last 2 years. Enjoy your channel. Reds, which I have an autographed book, which everybody should purchase. Also, enjoy Anthony's site. Well, Robert, thanks for chiming in and participating, because that's what this channel's about. It's about participation. So, but there's lurkers. You lurkers are out there, and y'all just lurk around, and you listen in, and you don't want to say anything. And then there's those people that just can't watch it live and participate because they got to work, they got to this, that, you know. So, all right. Anyway,
Bob, thank you. I'm glad you liked the book.
Keith held a brotherly kiss, not a Judas one. Kisses any tongue? No tongue. All right. Wouldn't you like to know, Bill? Wouldn't you like to know, Bill? Uh-oh, Adam's blushing.
Hey, what happens is Vegas stays in Vegas.
Hey, we're the syphilis capital of the country right now. So what happens in Vegas goes home with your ass and requires medication. That's what's going on. Now hit the button or go home and get your shoe shine box. Huh?
Come on,
Bobby Bag of Donuts. He's the first guy in the video saying you got to do this tour. Oh man, you guys are fun. Okay, so back to the Cozzo. Let's talk about the Cozzo a little bit more, because you know what? We got to do the after part. Oh, we're coming up. We got to call up our call-in guest. We got a special guest coming on the show. And you know,
after party's later. Everybody knows about the after party. I believe.
Let me tell you quickly about this, okay, and who we're bringing on the show, which I told you in the beginning, stick around because this is happening, and I wouldn't lie to you guys. So let me see if I have a clip here I wanted to show you. What the hell? Huh. Isn't that interesting? Sorry, guys. I want to show you this short video of Jac and tell you a little bit about him and who he is. So let me share my screen. Give me just a second here.
He's a very dynamic individual.
Dynamic's putting it mildly, yes.
At 87 years old.
He's 87 now, okay?
Get him on the show quick.
Right? No, I mean, I got to call him now, man. We don't know how long. Dad doesn't even send his shirt
Jack.
out
No
anymore.
offense.
Okay? At his age, he's like, it's not going to happen. So let me do this. I'm going to share. I'm going to do this on the fly, guys. So give me just a second because I'm doing this on the fly. Okay, there we go. You guys can see that
very well.
Okay, and let me make sure I didn't do it last time. I didn't share my audio. Now we got the audio. Okay, so listen up. This is Jac, who we're about to bring on the show, and he was a magician, comedian, but before that he was an undertaker, and he went to mortuary college, got his degree, and started working at the Weinstein's funeral parlor. Listen to this. He became very, very good friends with Peter Lawford. Now I don't want to. They're very tight, these two. and they worked on the cruise ships and whatnot together. And Peter told Jack some things about the Marylin Monroe situation. Okay, let's just call it the situation. So I want to introduce him, and I'm going to bring him in on the phone. He's sitting across town, and he's 87. And anyway, you're gonna love this story from him. But this is Jack. Listen to this is Jack when he was a little younger.
For those of you on medication, it's now 10:15. Here's to those who wish us well. Those that don't can drink by themselves. Are there any questions on what we've covered so far? Criticisms, any? Just speak right up. Dennis went for his side pocket over here. 3 guys died on Christmas Day, you see. And they went up to the pearly gates to meet St. Peter, see if they can get into heaven. And Pete was just coming back from his lunch break, and he saw the 3 guys in line. He said, gentlemen, normally what we do here, we ask you one theological question about your particular following, your calling, your denomination, whatever you're into. If you get that one question right, that's step 1. You get to go through that gate over there. It's quite simple, really. But gentlemen, this is Christmas Day. So I want each of the 3 of you to say something or do something relative to Christmas. The first guy reached in his pocket, he pulled out a little box of matches, and he lit one of those boogers, and he says, St. Peter, it's a Christmas candle. St. Peter said, well, now that's awesome. You had 3 seconds to think about that. I'm quite, go right through the gate over there. Second guy reached in his pocket, pulled out his car keys, and he's jingling them away. He says, St. Peter, Christmas bells. St. Peter said, you guys amaze me. You're entirely welcome to go through the gate. Third guy reached in his pocket, pulled out a pair of ladies' panties. St. Peter said, what in the world's that got to do with Christmas? He said, they're carols. All right. Let me get some of the crap up here, and I'll do this act for you. And this doesn't require an apology. I've been doing this act for a long time, and I don't give a damn if you like it or not. A little music, please.
He is good.
That's Jack, and that's who I'm getting on the phone right now.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi, Jack. How are you?
Okay.
Okay. Well, that's good. It's good. So I just played everybody a little bit of your act, and everybody thought that it's pretty good. Everybody likes it. They say you're a funny guy. You amuse them.
I can only hear about every other word you're saying.
Oh, you're breaking up a little bit there, Jack. Can you hear me?
Yeah, not very well.
How about now? Can you hear me better?
Yeah, but I'm missing about every 4th word, you know.
You want me to call you back? Maybe it's the connection, Jack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, let me call you back. Sometimes that can happen when you're on the phone with somebody and you get a bad connection. You know, you don't want it to have it happen right now, but it's happening right now. So let's try this again. We're going to get this story.
Once again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, Jack?
Yeah, but you're still breaking up.
I'm breaking up.
Yeah, I'm hearing every 5th word maybe is gone.
Can you tell me about Peter Lawford?
What do you need to know? He was a friend of mine for a long time.
And how'd you meet him?
I worked with along with Jim Allison and Rita Hayworth.
You worked with him with June Allison and Rita Hayworth.
Yeah.
So
on a ship.
On a boat. You were a cruise ship magician for a long time, comedy magician and entertainment director.
That's right.
So, is it true that you smoked dope with Peter Lawford?
Who told you that?
Okay, so So what did he tell you about Marilyn Monroe and all that? Can you explain the whole Frank Sinatra and everything that happened there to everyone?
Well, Marilyn Monroe was a close friend of Peter's. They dated for a while even. And she was at his house a lot for dinner, and they had a close relationship. Well, soon she had a close relationship with the White House, with both Kennedy brothers, Robert and Jack. And Peter, because he was married to Jack Kennedy's sister, Pat Kennedy, that was his wife, he had an in at the White House through the president, because he was his brother-in-law. So when Jack Kennedy wanted Marilyn Monroe over to the White House for dinner or whatever, he always told Peter Lawford to intercede and get her over there, and that's what he did. He was an intermediate, and to Bobby Kennedy as well.
So he's the brother-in-law, and what happened when Marilyn Monroe was murdered, or we think was murdered?
Well, yeah, it's always been a speculation that she was murdered, but probably, and the speculation goes on further, that the coroner's report that she died of booze and overdose of drugs, but those could have been put in her body after death, She got pretty serious with the Kennedys, and she wanted Mr. Kennedy, the president, to divorce Jackie and marry her. She had this fantasy of becoming First Lady of the land. Good Lord. And she got very serious, and of course, President Kennedy wasn't about to do that. And Bobby Kennedy, Attorney General, was pretty much looking for something to hold her off from White House visits and all. Well, she had a lot of private phone numbers, and they had a lot of them changed at the White House because of her. And she finally threatened to go public with what her liaison, what her dealings with the White House was. She was going to go public. So Bobby Kennedy became very alarmed because, of course, that would be injurious to the president and the government in general. And she was, I don't want to be unkind to her. She's not here anymore, but she wasn't the smartest lady in the world. And she didn't realize what her going public with this private affair was, and didn't realize what it would do to the government and the people. It would be disastrous. So Bobby Kennedy, it's always been speculated that she was done away with by somebody else. And Peter was called to go into her apartment. He was going to have her over for dinner, and they waited and waited. Finally, her maid called and said, Marilyn is lifeless on her bed. She's dead. So Peter quickly ran over to the house and was told by somebody higher up to clean up the place and don't leave any fingerprints of anybody around doorknobs and glass. So he went over to do the cleanup, and 5 to 6 hours later, the police were called, said Marilyn Monroe is dead, so they could come in for their investigation. But Peter was the one that cleaned the place up before the police came. And nobody ever figured out exactly what happened to her. It was a feasible story to release, which the press did, that she died of an overdose of drugs and booze because she was on both. She used a lot of both, and it's possible. But then the speculations arose as the time goes by, and whether they've ever been proven or not, who cares? And it's so long ago now, nobody's ever going to prove or disprove anything.
Well, that's true, but that's an interesting story. I mean, it's and he told you all that.
Oh yeah, I had a lot of discussions with Peter. I spent a lot of time in his living room when we'd always roll a joint and solve the world problems, you know.
So Peter was a puffer? Bill
one for breakfast, for God's sake.
Bill Kirchmeyer said that Jackie played hide the sausage with RFK with Robert. That you know anything about that?
I don't know anything about that. They never cleared that with me.
This Miss Can't Be Wrong says that that this Marylin Monroe was like a doorknob. The poor thing. She got around.
That's not a very kind analogy.
Bill Kirchmeyer said, "Let's solve some problems."
Yeah. Well, she became quite problematic, and Robert Kennedy had to take care of it somehow. "Quote, quote, take care." How that happened, we don't know, but Robert Kennedy wasn't going to let her go public with her trips to the White House. And Peter Lawford bought Louis B. Mayer's big mansion on Malibu Beach. He owned it for quite a few years. He bought it directly from, MGM, and he had a big area where the presidential helicopter could drop down and land there, and usually Jack Kennedy would get out and be a dinner guest.
How can I ask a question, Adam?
Go ahead, Red. Yeah, go ahead.
How long did it take before the ambulances could really get in and see her and take her away?
I don't have an answer to that. All I know is Peter told me that it was 6 hours delay before they called the police. Of course, when the police came and investigated and found out she was dead, probably brought a coroner, who's a physician, to testify her death. Then, of course, an ambulance would have been called to take her to the mortuary where she was autopsied.
And Jack, by the way, everyone, I know I said it in the beginning when I introduced him, but originally Jack was an undertaker. Now, I met Jack at the Haunted Vegas tour when I moved to town and started doing the mob tour and the haunted ghost tours, and that's where I met Jack. And Jack, when you were younger, you were working for the Weinsteins out in New York City, and didn't you guys have a little problem one day where the gate fell open on the hearse?
Oh, yeah, we lost. No, the bottom fell out of one of the cheap coffins on the cemetery when the 6 pallbearers are carrying him to his grave. It was on a hill in Mount Zion, the cemetery in upstate New York. And the bottom fell out because the Orthodox Jews don't use any nails or screws in their coffins. They're all glued together. Well, this one apparently had been around in the showroom for quite a while, and it was an Orthodox burial case, so it was plain, very plain, no stain or anything on it, just glued together. The Orthodox do that, and the bottom let loose, and this guy fell out as they were carrying him, and he rolled down the hill, and tombstones in his path stopped him. So we had to go down there and pick him up and try to recover some kind of decency for that funeral. Yeah, in the funeral business, all kinds of things happen. We had we used a pallbearer service in New York, and they're called carriers because they're the ones that carry the casket. And usually these guys are professional and they lift it up and put it on their shoulder. So when they walk from the funeral home to the hearse, they're shouldering the casket, marching in unison, of course. And then at the church and at the cemetery. They weren't using, the people that provided us with those pallbearers, professional men, weren't using this guy again. For some reason or other, they had a difference. And he got very angry, and he tied from the fish market on the block of our funeral home, we bought a big mackerel fish. And he somehow, while we were all in the funeral home having a little service, he got it wired to the top of the engine. So as we went, we smelled fish cooking. all kinds of things happen in a funeral. A funeral home is not as complacent as you think it is. And I'm still a licensed mortician. I will be for the rest of my life because I worked hard for that diploma. It was a long study. We study about half of what a doctor does because we're embalmers, you know.
Right.
And I specialized in accident cases, but there's all kinds of stories that are really hilarious from funeral homes. They're not as somber as people think.
So after you got out of the Air Force, he was in the Tops and Blues show. Jack won 4 Oscars, or no, what are they? Rogers, 3 Rogers. That's the equivalent of an Oscar in the Air Force. So you got 3 Rogers. And when you got out, didn't you get a limousine in New York? And you guys were renting it out, and you had that Salvatore Dali?
I'm not. You gotta have to repeat that. I didn't get it all.
Salvatore Dali.
Oh yeah. What about him?
Go ahead. You had a limo. You got a painting.
I started while I was working in the funeral home when I got out of the service. Because when you get out of the service, you walk out the front gate and you don't have a job anymore, and the government's not going to pay you, so you're pretty broke. What they're smart enough to do when they discharge you, they give you airfare, put in your pocket money, so at least you can fly home, wherever that is. But you're on your own after that, so I needed to buy a car, get an apartment, I needed civilian clothing, and I'm going to practice as a mortician using my license. And so I bought a 1929 Rolls-Royce limousine. This thing was a monster. It would back uphill as fast as it would go forward. And it was a great car. I don't have it anymore. I only sold it about 7 or 8 years ago. But I used it to have a limousine service. My partner and I bought a 1/8 of a page in the New York Yellow Pages. Stately Motor Coaches, limited, very limited. We had 1 car. And we'd rent it out for everything. Take people to the theater, the opera, the airport, shopping, dinner, whatever. And Salvatore Dali was one of my customers. I picked him up several times at the St. Moritz Hotel. And I'd jump into a chauffeur's uniform and drive it myself instead of we used guys from the New York University as our chauffeurs. We didn't use Teamsters because they were too expensive. So we'd pick up students and say, you want to make a few bucks, you got to drive this car in this wedding for us. And we'd cram him into a classic chauffeur's uniform, breeches and boots and leather gloves and a lot of buttons. And we'd pay him properly. But every time I picked up Salvatore Dali, I would drive myself because he was a pretty famous guy. And once, when I dropped him off at the St. Moritz, it was winter time, and the windows were steamed up in this Rolls Royce. And Mr. Dali and his clan, about 4 or 5 people with him in the car, got out. And he hesitated at the door, and with a finger, he drew a special painting, so to speak, in the window, the steamed window, and it said for Jack, Salvatore Dali. And as he walked into the St. Moritz Hotel, I stood there and watched my painting sweat into the door casing. I didn't have a camera with me. God, never forgot that.
Joe Collada said hello, everybody. Let's see. So, where exactly did you get your start in entertainment, Jack?
Well, I started like you did. I started as a magician as a little boy. And I didn't have any budget because I hadn't had my paper route then. I was still in early high school, probably a freshman, maybe 8th grade, I don't remember. But I started becoming interested because our school would have a magician once in a while on stage at the school assembly for entertainment. And so every time I watched a magician, I said, I want to do that, I want to do that. So I didn't have any money to buy magic tricks from the catalogs. And my father was a little bit tight-fisted. He said, you don't want to buy any of that crap. So I had to go around the house and pick up stuff that I could use as magic. And so I created this act where nothing magically happened. It all fell apart. It was all junk and trash, and people laughed at it. I was being quite silly. And I kept that act going, and when I joined the Air Force, I guess they gave me my real professional start. My first time with Bob Hope, they put me on the Ed Sullivan Show, and made me work with June Allison and Robert Preston, who was playing the Music Man in Broadway at the time. And I worked with stars while in the Air Force, and I toured the world with Tops, a show called Tops in Blue, which is equivalent to any high-budget Broadway production. It was Air Force funded, so it was a good one. There was 29 of us in the cast, and we traveled all over the world doing shows. So the Air Force really introduced me to professional show business.
And what years were you in the Air Force?
55 through 59, 60.
Scott H. said, did the guy sue you that fell out of the box?
No, because as an undertaker, I'm in charge of the funeral. Legally, my license had to cover what was going on, so I quickly got my 6 pallbearers, who unfortunately were family members of the family carrying the casket. And all 6 of them were older than the guy in the casket, so they weren't much help in picking him up and putting him, we turned the damn thing upside down and put him in the bottom,
Okay. Now, we got to wrap up, Jack, but I want you to tell us one more story. And it's the story. Hold on a second. I don't want any spoilers on the story, so let me turn my mic off for a second. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. I had graduated from Mortuary College in New York, University State of New York, and I serving my residency, or you might call it an apprenticeship, in a funeral home in California. I won't name the place, I guess. And I'm quite young. I just graduated. I must have been 20, 21 years old. And so I had to wheel this casket into the chapel. The family was coming in, and I was to show them the cadaver, open the casket, and to see if they wanted to change anything, if they liked what they saw. If they needed any changes, we were ready to do it quickly before we let the public in, or their friends and family. And I'm standing there beside the casket. I had embalmed this guy. It was one of my jobs. And the doors opened at the end of the chapel as I'm standing up on the altar with this casket and a guy in it. And the sun blasted in the doors as they opened, and it kind of blinded me. But when they closed the doors, I could see it was the wife coming down the aisle with some family members, because I knew who it was, because I saw her in the office making arrangements for this funeral. But she was holding the arm of a guy, and he had a light pair of sunglasses on. And wow, it was this is what ran through my mind. Good Lord, it's the dead guy. It's the guy I just embalmed, and he's walking with his wife down the aisle. And I was really freaked out, because back then television had shows like Dark Shadows, One Step Beyond, and all those creepy TV shows that I had brought myself up on when I was a boy. And I'm thinking, what is this? My God, there he is walking down the aisle. The same suit, the same tie that I dressed him in, and it was exactly the same. And I'm ready to freak out. I thought, oh my God, I got to get out of here. This is a nightmare. What is happening? And I was, just scary. And she got down the aisle with this guy. He finally took off his sunglasses, and I could see, my God, it is him. The guy I embalmed. And the wife came up to me and face-to-face said, Mr. Hayden, I'd like to introduce you to my husband's twin brother, Alex.
Bill Kirchmayer guessed it right at the last minute. There you go. That's a great story, man. That's an awesome story. Everybody, Jack, thank you for coming on the show today. I appreciate you doing that.
Okay.
And
Jack, you lived a marvelous life.
Red said he hopes that you're living a marvelous life.
So far, as long as it goes on, you know.
The blood's pumping, the air is going in and out. It's all good. So we're gonna put Jack. Jack made a DVD a long time ago, maybe about 5 years, 6 years ago. I edited it, so you know it's good, but it's Jack's material. And we're gonna put it up on the site. And Jack, he's on. I'm not starting a GoFundMe or anything, but he's on Social Security. He's 87. He could use some extra dough. And I said, Jack, you know what? Maybe we could sell a few copies of this, and any of the proceeds will go to Jack. So we're going to put that up there in the next week, and we'll probably have Jack on again because he's got other stories, and he's kind of fun. So thanks again, Jack.
Yeah, the few bucks will help. I donate it to my favorite charity, me.
All right, Jack. So long. Thank you. Later. Bye-bye. Red, it's been fun. Guys, we got an after show. We're going to talk about the offer, the 6th episode that just came out last Thursday, and because we're going to recap of what happened and talk about it a little bit. Go in the description down below and click the link. That'll get you to the after party. Or go to Red Wemette's channel and just subscribe to it. That way you guys will see it. Joe Collada, thanks for stopping in. It's always good to see you, sir. And everybody else, hey, you're very welcome, Kathy. Everybody have a great evening. Have fun. It's good to see you guys. You know, it really is. So thanks again. Have a great day, Red. Mob Vlog.